around here. But there is a new British invasion capturing Hollywood these days. No longer musicians doing the invading, but actors and authors. And we've invited 4 of England's wittiest and brightest talents to be with us here today. First, I want you to meet the woman who calls herself the Harold Robbins for women. Her novels have sold over 60 million copies worldwide. What do you want? Are you with the show? You just can't come in here and hand me a book. Do you feel silly? Take a picture of him. So you're the famous book hander in it, huh? For years, a hand has come in and handed me a magic book. And that was that kid. That's Ray. Her novels have sold some 60... I said that already. Next card. Oh, Lucky. Jackie Collins' Lucky. It remains on the New York Times bestseller list 5 months after its release. And the price of... Ooh, look at her picture on the back. Her sister Joan should eat her heart out. Look at that one, huh? Isn't that nice? How much is this? $17.95. I can get it marked down for you. No, you can't. Would you welcome Jackie Collins? I love it.
Yes.
Oh, that is super. My.
Well, I'll give it to you for free, Merv.
Younger or older than Joan?
Oh, well, you always ask me that.
I have never asked you that.
You always do.
Never.
I'm the younger sister.
I thought
I'm
so.
the younger sister.
It's not what Joan says.
Oh.
Do you see, I mean, are you really close sisters? Do you see each other a lot?
Well, not every day. She tells me a lot of secrets, though.
Oh, does she?
Yes, none of which I use in my books.
Ah. Does she
So
know a lot of secrets?
The press would like us not to be. The press kind of like the idea of people not, you know, sisters who are both successful not being friends. But we're very close. We're very different, but we're very close. Because I think, you know, an actress...
Where do you see the difference?
Well, because an actress is very different. Joan likes to go out to parties and do, and I like to go out to parties and watch.
And I thought you were going to say, and don't. Oh, you're a watcher, huh?
Yes.
A voyeur?
Yes,
No.
Well, that's how I write my books, Merv, you see.
So in other words, if you're at a party, you're sitting over in the corner, snooping?
I like that, you know. I like watching what people do. I like to go kind of around town and watch and go in the stores and go into a store like Giorgio on Rodeo Drive and kind of just hang back and watch the rich Hollywood wives come in and the husbands and the things that go on. You know something? Huh. Everybody says to me, you know, your books, they write about these rich and famous people and they're so bizarre and everything. And I always say, well, you know, I tone it down because these things really do go on. But what I found is the people that are so busy saying to me that the things don't go on, obviously would never admit it, would they? I mean, you would never admit the kind of wild lifestyle that you probably have in secret.
Probably not, no. No.
And you know who tells me about everything? The people who service the stars. The
who
florists.
service the stars?
Yeah,
Sounds like an equestrian center here.
The florists who send them the flowers and the chauffeurs who drive the limos, they really know what goes on.
They're the big mouths.
Yeah,
huh?
and every time I get in a car or something, they say, oh, God, you should have seen what happened with Madonna last night. I'm not going to tell you any more than that.
What did Madonna do last night?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Was Sean there?
It wasn't last night, but they tell me lots of things. They reveal what really goes on, and they say, of course, you know, the things you write about never really capture.
Wouldn't they be the ones to write books, too?
Oh, yes.
The chauffeurs of all those
but they
rented limousines.
Because they all think they could. But, I mean, you know, they say, well, we could, if we told our story, would you have a bestseller to me? And I say, well, I think I might have had 1 or 2 already. But I think that to write about it, you have to be objective, but you have to know the people very well, too. And you have to be able to sit back and say, well, I'm going to tell it like it really is. And it's fun to do.
But
and
wouldn't a true book, couched, of course.
What do you mean a true book? Oh, you mean an absolute... Well, there's many
About Joan, your sister, Phil, be a larger book than this?
I want to go on living, Merv. I don't want Alexis to come after me.
Of the two, which of you has had the wilder life?
Do you really think I would tell that on national television? You've got to be kidding.
But you see, who came here first? You did.
No, Joan. Joan did.
Oh,
Joan was a movie star here in the early 60s.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was expelled from school and came running out to join her as soon as I could.
At 15 you were expelled?
At 15. It was
What
wonderful.
did you do that got you expelled in
Well, it's kind
England?
of a series of things. I mean, one of them was that I don't know if you have them here, flashers, men in raincoats that kind of do that. We call them.
Do we have any here?
Any in the audience?
Any flashers?
Well, it's a sort of old English phrase, a flasher,
Flashers.
right?
Oh, sure we have
And
them.
we used to play tennis in the park, all this nice little English schoolgirls in our little school uniforms, and we would walk past every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and the flasher would be sitting on a park bench, and so everybody would ignore him. And one day I thought, this is silly, and I said, hello, how are you? Looking good. And the teacher was furious. She said, don't do things like that. Then I used to play truant. And then I used to smoke a lot when it wasn't fashionable to smoke cigarettes, I might add. And so it was a kind of combination of never being at school and waving to the flasher and smoking, and they said, you've got to go.
How
I said,
angry?
because I want to get to Hollywood.
How angry was the family?
Well, my family were really quite pleased to get rid of me because I was verging on being a juvenile delinquent. And they had this movie star daughter, Joan, in Hollywood, and they said, you go off there and you can be a movie star too. You're not bad looking. Just get out of our lives. And it was wonderful because I came here and I really wanted to write. I didn't want to be an actress. And I could sit back and watch the film industry and watch the way that men treated women and watch the way that married men treated single women. And it was something I really captured, I think. I do capture it in my books, and I get so many wonderful letters from people who say, you know, you really tell it the way it is, because it's what I love to do.
We'll return right after these commercial messages.